Hello everyone and welcome to day 2 of this forum. Yesterday we complete the definition step of our framework and started to do some analysis. However, we saw that Excel wasn't powerful enough to give us information about trends, etc. and only show us a picture with all the total or with a selected number of weeks. So now we're going to move to using some tools to perform a deeper analysis, qualitative or quantitative, and for this we have a very powerful tool that we saw in class, which is Tableau. Let's move to Tableau and start doing an analysis there, because it will give us many more information. Let's move to Tableau, and we have to connect to Excel because we have the sales information in our Excel file. Let's click in Excel and let's open our file with the information. Click Open. We are going to open the file. As you see, here we have all the tabs. I don't have the pivot tab because I have started from scratch. If you have it, it's okay, it doesn't matter. Let's move the sales tab here, let's drag it here, and let's bring the information. And as you can see, here we have some nulls. This is because the Excel file is prepared to be used in Excel and not in Tableau. But Tableau has a very powerful tool, which is the data interpreter, to clean up the files. Let's click here in the data interpreter. It is now processing the information, and as you can see, it has cleaned up perfectly the file, placing the name of the columns perfectly and gave us information. And now Tableau is saying, hey, you now have information that I can process. Let's move and start your first visualization. So let's go here. This is our first sheet. Our first visualization will be a map, because I see that it will give us very visual information. However, here we have our dimensions, okay, location, market and product, and then location and market are defined as a text, but we know that they are location, they are geographical locations. The market here is the country and the location is a city. So we are going to say to Tableau the new type. We're going to click here in the ABC and say to Tableau that the market is a country. And we also are going to say that the location is a city. So once we have created this, the type has changed, and also the latitude and longitude fields here have appeared because Tableau needs them to create maps. So let's select the market and the sales and use Tableau, use the show me to let Tableau suggest us the visualization. And we can use a map. Let's use a map. Click in the map, and then we have our first visualization. We can see that it has color all the markets, and the darker the blue, the higher the sales. So now with just this visualization, we can see that China is the best performing and the United States is the poorest one. So let's name this as map, because we're going to use this visualization through all the forum. And then let's start doing some more detailed visualization because we need more information. So it's okay, we have this by market, but we need the product. So in this case, we're going to have the market and we're going to have the sales here. You see, we now have the same information, but in columns. And this is okay, but I want this to be split also by product. So I click here and put the column in the product in the columns. And I want to fit this to the whole screen because it's more useful. And this is okay. We can see more information here. We can see that even though the UK seems to be performing worse than the Spain, as a total country, there is a product, the product B, which is performing better than any product of Spain. And we have China with product A, which is the best performer ever. So this visualization is quite nice, but let's add some color. We're going to color it based on the market. We're going to assign a color to each market. So here we have blue for China, we're going to have orange for Spain, we're going to have red for the UK, and now we have teal for the US. But teal is a very light color. We're going to change it to gray because it will be better for the future. We do this here. In the color, we click, we say to edit color, okay, and here we're going to use the gray for the United States. We select the United States. We choose the gray palette and we choose the dark gray for the United States. We click OK. And then we have the 4 colors. We're going to name this visualization Sales by Product. We're going to save it also. And this is okay. We now have the best performing product, but this is the same information that we have in Excel. So we said that we wanted Tableau to see trends. So let's create a visualization and start seeing trends. So we need the sales, and we want this to be split by weeks. So let's place the weeks here. And then we get this train visualization. Why is this? This is because we don't want the week to be a measure. We want it to be a dimension because we want to analyze the sales based on the weeks. We can convert the weeks to a dimension in 2 ways. We can click here and say dimension, or we can convert it for the whole visualization, which will be more useful for us. So we can go here to week, we select the menu, and we convert it to a dimension. So it moves to dimension here, we remove it from here, and we place the dimension, which as you can see is blue. This is okay, because we start to see trends. We can see the trend in sales, which is ascending and which is perfect. And we want to see it by product. So we insert the product here in color as before. But what we have here is a bar graph, which is okay, but we prefer lines because they gave us a more continuous information. But why, if we go here to the show me, we don't have the lines available. And this is because right now the week is treated as a discrete variable. Remember, the numerical variables could be discrete or continuous. And we want it to be continuous because we want it to forecast, we want to see trends, we want to be treated as time. So here we specify that this is continuous, not discrete. We click here, and now we see that we change into lines, which are better. This graph is very powerful, but we have many information here. It's difficult to be read. So what we are going to do is we are going to assign a color palette to each market and product, as we did before. We're going to do it based on these colors. So we're going to assign blue to China, orange to Spain, red to the United Kingdom, and gray to the United States. And we do here like before, here in color. we're going to edit the color. Here for China, we're going to use the blue palette, and we're going to use a convention. We're going to use the dark color for the product A and a lighter color for product B. And this will be through all the visualization. For Spain, we use the orange, and we choose this orange for product A and this orange for product B. In the UK, we use the red, and we choose this dark red for A, the light red for B. And in the US, we choose the gray with the dark gray for the A and the light gray for the B. And we click OK. So now this is far more easy to be read because we have color per country or market. And we can start seeing the trend and what has happened. Even though the trend is ascending for all products or for the whole, we have some different behaviors. And we can see that, for example, product B in China has getting a lot higher in the last 4 weeks, and that product A has had a more stable advance. And similar has happened with product B in UK. And products from the US seems to be quite stagnant, growing but a very different pace. And even though you can see some decline in here. So this is okay, but we are like trying to read information. But we can remember that we have some analytics tools here in Tableau that can help us to see the trend more clearly. And we can have the trend line. We can include a trend line here. So let's place our trend here. So now we have a trend line. We have the line that represents the trend of each product, which is quite more easy to be read. We can see the slope of the trend and how this is going to evolve. So this is very important and this is very useful, and I will let this visualization for you to read it and get some insights. We're going to call this sales trend by product, and you have to read this while you answer to the question for this day. So now we have used Tableau to give us the analysis and to validate the hypothesis, and we have also used Tableau to create the outputs, a visualization to help to understand that analysis. So it's time for the questions for today. Question 1. Which of the two graphs, sales by market or sales trend by product, provide better information for helping us to answer the question? Do you think that both graphs are useful, or would you rather discard one of them to expose your conclusions? And second question. With all this information, which would be your recommendation for your manager? Please elaborate the answer.